October 9th, as the sails are being unfurled. I sit at the dock, writing frantically. I have just these few moments. Oh, Caleb, do you read now what is written here? I did not even tell about the ink. I ran out of English ink long ago. This ink is made of the juice of berries. I pray it holds and does not fade. First, forgive me for taking your book. It was wrong of me. But now you can know all that has happened to us. If the ink holds, then you know about baby Abigail. Just know that in spite of my worries and complaining here, all is well. Mama and Papa and I, we are well. We are lonely. I am very lonely, for my dear friend Jessie is leaving me. Next to you, Caleb, she is my best friend in the whole world. But if you have this book, then you have met her. Oh, do you like her as well as I do? I believe you do. You must. And Caleb, with each month's passing, you come closer to being with us. You will meet my friend Francis Collier. You will meet the Indian men. You will like it here, Caleb. Sometimes we are hungry. Ofttimes we are frightened. But we have a home here. Papa and I built it ourselves, and yes, I climbed the roof. I have done many things we did not think of doing in England. It is a small house, and I must admit it smells a bit damp. It is different from England, but it is a house, Caleb, a home. It is our home, and it is beautiful to us. Oh, Caleb, it is a lovely land. When you join us here come spring, we will rejoice, for then it will be a real home indeed, home in America. Historical note. In 1607, the London Company in England sent an expedition to the Americas under the leadership of Captain Christopher Newport. The purpose was to settle there in the hopes of finding goods and materials and maybe even gold to send back to England. On a warm spring day, the settlers landed on the Virginia coast, then sailed about 30 miles up the James River to the site of their new settlement, the first permanent one in the New World. Here they hung the flag of England. They hoped that by being far enough inland, they might be safe from the marauders and pirates who had been attacking other colonies. This plan might have been a good one, but several things went very wrong. First, the land that they chose was poor for settling. It was in a wet marsh full of mosquitoes that spread disease. Second, the land was inhabited by Indians who were wary of such strange visitors. But there were other problems, too, problems that the settlers brought with them from England. Some of the men who came on board the ships were lazy and expected others to do their work. They did not know how to work hard. In addition, they had brought the wrong things, clothing that was too hot for this climate, foods that spoiled. Some of the advertisements in England told how exciting life in America would be. Settlers came thinking they were headed for great adventure. Instead, they found hard times, hunger, disease, and trouble. Relations with the Indians were unstable at times, and matters amongst the settlers also became tense. Eventually, a young colonist named John Smith took control of the colony and brought some order to it. First, he made rules for the men there. One was, if you do not work, you do not eat. Then he worked at creating friendly working relations with the Indians. He befriended Pocahontas, the daughter of the Indian chief Powhatan. The men traded with the Indians for food and necessary supplies. The Indians taught the colonists how to plant corn, how to fish, and how to make canoes out of hollowed-out logs. All these things helped the colonists to survive and even thrive for a while. When women and children came with more settlers in 1609, things were quiet at first. But soon there were more problems, mainly brought on by overcrowding and hunger, as the fort swelled with newcomers. Also, the colonists and the Indians had become reckless in their relations with one another. Many people were killed in hostile, angry scuffles. Then in the fall of 1609, when Captain Smith was injured and had to return to England, things in the colony became much worse very quickly. Disease, discontent, and rivalry spread among the colonists. It was known as the starving time, as hunger was their constant companion. The very survival of the colony was in doubt. When the next supply ship returned the following spring, only a few colonists were there to greet them. The rest had died of starvation or disease. However, the arrival of those ships brought much-needed food and supplies and many new people. The colony again began to thrive, and soon Jamestown was named the first capital of Virginia.